Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video I'm going to show you guys how to recreate the Polaroid look that is so popular on Instagram with Lightroom. Now if that sounds interesting, let's hop into this video. Guys, before we start this video, make sure you like this video. It takes just 2 seconds of your time. Please like this video and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. So guys, this is the image that we're working on today. I took this picture a while ago when I was shooting my video for how to take pictures on Instagram. I'll leave it linked up here somewhere. And this is my friend Moyo. I'll leave his Instagram in the description. And also, if you want to download this picture and follow along with what I'm doing, you can also download it. I'll leave the link in the description below. So yeah, let's start this edit. So this is what we're trying to recreate and this is what we're working with. So let's just start. So for the exposure is pretty good, but I think I'll bring it up a little bit because I took this picture on my phone and most of the time the exposure is fine. So I'm just going to increase the exposure a little bit, maybe by 3.5 or something. 3.5. Okay, let's just leave the contrast here. Let's work on other things for now. So for the highlights, I'm going to take it down to -47, and for the shadows I'm going to bring them up to 94. Then the whites, I'm going to take the whites up to 40, and for the blacks I'm going to bring them down to -9. Now the main change in this image comes from the tone curve, but I'm going to leave that for the end of this video. So if you want to know how that works, make sure you watch till the end. So let's skip the tone curve and let's move on to the colors. So there's no red in this image, so I'm just going to leave it the way it is. For orange, I'm going to reduce the saturation by -1. Not going to really mess with the colors here. For the yellows, I'm going to change the hue to 60. The saturation I'm going to reduce to -30. And let's move on to blue. For blue, I'm going to reduce saturation to -50. And we're done with colors. So let's move on to texture and clarity and all that good stuff up here. So for the texture, I'm going to reduce it to -25 because this Polaroid look is very soft. It doesn't have like too much grit to it. So we're going to take down the clarity and the texture. So for clarity, I'm going to take it down to -19. -19. Then the haze, I'm going to take it down to -5. Now for the vibration and saturation, Jesus, did I just say vibration? For the vibrance and saturation, I'm going to take the vibrance up to 13. And I'm going to take the saturation down to around -8. Now let's leave and go down to vignette. Now let's reduce the vignette to around -30. Okay, now let's move to split toning. Here it's called color grading, but it's still split toning. On the mobile app it's called split toning. So just go to that section and let's work on the highlights and the shadows. So for the highlights, I'm going to take the hue to 57 and I'm going to take the saturation to 29. 57 and 29. Now for the shadows, I'm going to take the hue to 239 and I'm going to take the saturation to around 21. So let's go. Hue 239 and saturation 21. Now for the balance, I'm going to take the balance back to -20. So let's just take it back there, -20. And let's go down to vignette. Why is the vignette like this? I think I made a mistake here. Let's take the vignette down to -20. I don't know why I put it on white. Anyway, so let's go back up to contrast. I think I'm going to add a little bit of contrast before I work on the tone curve. So let's increase the contrast to about 33. 33 is fine. Okay, so let's go to the tone curve, the meat of this. So I'm not going to do the regular S curve. I'm just going to click on the shadows and drag it up to this point, and I'm going to click on the shadows or the blacks, and I'm going to drag it down to around the same level as the shadows. So around here, let me see. Let's take the shadows up a little bit to create like a really faded look, but not too contrasty. Okay, so the blacks, I'm going to leave the blacks around here, and we're going to leave the curve like this. We're not going to touch any other thing. So let's look at the before and after to see how far we've come. So here's the before and here's the after. Now let's look at the final image. So I know you can see that there's something different about these two images. There's this flare that comes from the edge of the picture. So I got this flare effect with the free app called Lens Distortions. You can download it, and I'll just leave a short clip here of how I made this look. It's very simple. All you have to do is just click on the element that you want, put in the direction you want it to come from, and just edit the opacity, the contrast, and all that, and save. Very simple. But here I think I'm going to increase the saturation of the shadows just up a little bit, because I saw that, or I can see that in the finished image there's this kind of blue haze to it. So I'm just going to increase the saturation just maybe to 38 something. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Okay, so all you have to do is just go to Lens Distortions and add that flare. But this is the Polaroid look that we're looking for. So now I'm going to copy these settings and paste on another picture to show you what it looks like. I'm just going to copy and paste. Now from here, obviously when you paste presets, they're not always going to look perfect. So from here you can adjust different things to make it suit the actual image that you're working on. So for this image, I'm just going to take the exposure up a little, reduce the highlights, just make it look normal, reduce the whites, maybe increase the shadows, take the whites down a little bit more. And yeah, here we have the Polaroid look. And I have one more pro tip for you guys. If you're trying to take a picture and you want to edit it with this kind of look, when you're taking a picture, use your flash, whether it's on your phone or a camera. And whether it's in the daytime or the nighttime, always try and use a flash to take these pictures, because it just gives it this real effect about it. It makes it feel really genuine, even though we didn't use a Polaroid camera. So we've come to the end of today's video, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, don't forget to share, and don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Daniel_Are to see all these tips in action. And you can always DM me and ask questions. I also left my email in the description. You can always email me or DM me, and I'm always free and I love to answer your questions. So yeah, we've come to the end of today's video. So I'll see you guys next week. Peace.